Hi, everybody. This is Bojan from Bayer Consumer Health, from External Innovation and Partnering. And today I'm talking to Chris Dancy, the most connected human in the world. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. It's good to see you again.
So let's get right into it. Today I would like to chat with you about value of partnerships. So my first question is, could you name an example of a partnership that went exceptionally well from your experience? What is the secret sauce behind it? And could you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, that's not fair because the first partnership I'm thinking of was my collaboration with Bayer this year in 2020. I think the thing that was exceptionally well about it was we all shared a mutual goal. And it was around a particular innovation event. So I find with partnerships, the secret sauce to a successful partnership is sharing a mutual goal. It's not, the tools, it's not the feelings of the relationships, are you all wanting to go to the same place together? And for me, coming to Bayer in Switzerland and being involved in your event and then your 2 days of innovation, we all shared a goal, and that was educating each other about consumer health. So that's probably the first example that comes to mind, but I've been really fortunate. I've had a lot of successful collaborations and partnerships.
In your opinion, what are the characteristics of ideal partner?
That's hard because I think it depends on the size of the partner. For larger organizations, the characteristics of an ideal partnership would be consistency of who you're dealing with and transparency around that. But for smaller organizations, obviously you're going to deal with the same people all the time. So, the transparency isn't important. I think for smaller partnerships, the characteristics would be more along the lines of, again, shared mutual interests. So are we going in the same direction? But for large organizations, partnerships, the key characteristics have to be understanding who you're dealing with and keeping that consistent, because it can be disenchanting to keep being moved from person to person to person.
Got it. Something that is happening quite a lot in the last years are partnerships between big corporations like Bayer and startups, because they're bringing fresh innovation, they're bringing new energy, they're bringing solutions that haven't been seen before. And you are in that space quite often. Could you tell me a little bit about challenges that you've seen in these partnerships and how to overcome them?
Absolutely. I think, as someone who's been in a few startups and been at corporations that worked with startups, there's nothing more exciting than having a large organization like Bayer want to work with you, because it validates the startup's work. But the novelty of that wears off very quickly for a startup, because what happens is the challenge looking upstream, so from the startup upstream to a large organization, again, can be having to deal with the different departments. So you've got one person for travel, you've got one person for accounts receivable, you've got one person in marketing. So you're dealing with a bunch of folks, and also going through a lot of meetings. Obviously, for a lot of startups, the accounts payable cycle can be a little long. So if you're waiting to get paid from an organization, that can be a little tough. Downstream, I think from an organization looking down at a startup, the challenges are actually a little bit more difficult, because startups large organizations are used to people with processes, right? And startups don't have processes. They can move fast because they don't have to think about it, right? So that can be, I think, just as challenging. And then I think overall, you've got people at a large level who are used to going to a job that's always been the same, and people at a startup level who are used to things changing. There can be real tension, because there's sometimes either resentment to people who can do what they want when they want, looking downstream, or upstream, a little envy, so not having to worry about a paycheck. So I think being really aware of which side you're sitting on and empathetic